Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to Social Science class. Today, we are going to start with Political Science, Chapter 1, Our Constitution. Let's start our today's class. India had to face many problems soon after independence. The many problems were rehabilitation, the refugees who migrated from Pakistan, merger of the princely states, maintenance of law and order were the challenges that were faced during the beginning of independence. Sardar Patel successfully achieved the merger of princely states and province with the Union of India. Even the challenge of framing a constitution in order to enable us to govern the country was also fulfilled. Now let us know about the structure of a constitution, its characteristics, about the fundamental rights and duties. Now students, you all might be thinking, what is constitution? Constitution of India is the supreme law of India. Constitution is a set of rules and regulation guiding the administration of a state. The question may arise in your mind, how was the Indian Constitution Assembly formed, or who drafted the Constitution? For all these questions, let us see how the Indian Constitution was formed. The recommendation of Motilal Nehru Committee and the decisions taken by the meeting of Indian National Congress at Karachi in 1939 emphasized the need for the formation of Constituent Assembly. As per the recommendation of the Cabinet Commission, a Constituent Assembly with the Indian members was formed in 1946. The Assembly had 389 members. With the partition of India, the total number came down to 299. There were 7 members from Mysore princely state. The first meeting of the new Constituent Assembly was held on 9 December 1946. The next meeting was held on 11 December 1946 under the chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad and eminent persons like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, C. Rajagopalacharya, K.M. Munshi, T.T. Krishnamacharya, Srimati Sarojini Naidu, Srimati Sucheta Kriplani attended the meeting. The prominent people from Karnataka, S. Nijalingappa, attended the meeting, and K.C. Reddy, Kengal Hanumantaya, Tenkur Subramanyaya, and others were also present in the meeting. Now let's move on to the drafting committee. The Constituent Assembly formed 22 committees and 5 subcommittees to examine in detail all the issues related to the country. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of one of the most important committee, that is the drafting committee. Based on his contribution to the framing of constitution, he is called as the chief architect of Indian Constitution. The other members of the committee were N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K. M. Munshi, T. T. Krishnamacharya, and some other eminent statesmen. Framing of the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly took 11 months and 18 days to complete its work. During these discussions, various laws enacted by British government in 1909, 1919 and 1935, the British parliamentary system, the American Bill of Rights, the social directive policies of Ireland were studied, and some elements of these were incorporated. Finally, the Indian Constitution was approved on 26 November 1949 and came into force on 26 January 1950. This day is celebrated as Republic Day. So students, who is the chief architect of Indian Constitution? Yes, it is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And when do we celebrate our Republic Day? We celebrate Republic Day on 26th January every year. Now, the Indian Constitution has combined in itself the best features of different constitutions of the world and has its own preamble. What is a preamble? The preamble contains the fundamental policies, ideals of the Constitution. A preamble is the sum of the structure, values, principles, and goals of the Constitution. It is based on the aspirations and ideals of the people of India. The preamble is a part of the objective resolution put forward by Jawaharlal Nehru on December 13, 1946 and approved by the Constituent Assembly on January 22, 1947. This resolution upholds the natures of India's sovereign democratic republic nature. Social, economic and political justice for all people is upheld. The preamble of the Constitution begins with "We, the people of India." The Indian Constitution is framed by the Indians. It strives to fulfill the dreams of Indians. Sovereign. India is a sovereign country, not under the control of any other country in the world. It is a part of any bloc. It has its own foreign policies, non-alignment policy and 5-year plans. By implementing with this, the country has achieved internal and external autonomy. Socialist. The goal of our constitution is to create social equality and promote welfare of all the people in our country. To enable this, the directive principle of state policy has been incorporated in the constitution through 42nd Amendment done in 1976. Through this amendment, law reforms and other progressive economic reforms were introduced. What do you mean by the word secular? The word secular has been incorporated in the Constitution through the 42nd Amendment in 1976. No religion has been given the status of a national religion, so India is a secular country. Citizens have the liberty to practice any religion they desire. All religions have equal status in India. Democratic Republic. Securing the happiness of everyone is the responsibility of government in a democracy. Problems are solved through discussion. Elections are held every 5 years through universal adult franchise. The fact that our head of the state is the President of India, who is elected for a period of 5 years, proves that our country is republic. Students, who is the President of India? The President of India is Ramnath Kovind. Now let's see the salient features of our constitution. Our constitution is in the written and it's a lengthy constitution. After many amendments, it became a lengthy constitution with 25 chapters and 12 schedules and 465 articles. The second is partially flexible and partially rigid constitution. Our constitution is neither too flexible nor too rigid. The third is parliamentary form of government. Our constitution provides for a parliamentary form of government. The sovereign power of the nation is vested in the elected parliament. The executive is responsible to the legislature at the central and state level. The cabinet shall be in power as long as it enjoys the confidence of the legislature. Republic system. The constitution has declared India as republic. The head of the country is indirectly elected by the citizens. In India, the president is the constitutional head of the state and he is elected. Next is the federal system. Our constitution provides for a federal system of government because our country consists of different languages, castes, races and geographical regions. Administrative powers are shared by the central and state government. The Supreme Court possesses the power to solve all the dispute rising between the center and the state with respect to any subject. The next is fundamental rights. The rights that the Constitution has given to the people are called as fundamental rights. No law of any government, central or state or any organization can deny these rights. If the fundamental rights are taken away or endangered, the citizen can directly appeal to the High Court or the Supreme Court. Fundamental duties. Duties are our responsibilities towards our country. The next is directive principles of state policy. The directive principles of state policy have been incorporated in the fourth schedule of our constitution. These principles have been adopted with the Irish constitution. They are the basis of the establishment of social and economic equality. When the government frames new law, it should pay attention to these principles. Independent and centralized judiciary system. Our judiciary system is independent and centralized. The courts have the authority to give bold judgments in order to protect the rights of people. Neither the legislature or executive has the right to interfere with the working of the judiciary. The Supreme Court is the highest in the land, and all the high courts and subordinate courts function under it. The next is single citizenship. The Constitution makes provision for a single citizenship in order to curb the narrow-minded provincialism and promote nationalism. The citizens of this country have the same right irrespective of their place of birth, residence, etc. The legislature possesses the power to frame rules in this matter. Adult franchise. The Constitution provides for adult franchise. All the citizens above 18 years of age may exercise their right to vote. It symbolizes the sovereign absolute power to the people. Bicameral legislature. The central legislature is called as Parliament. The Parliament consists of two houses, the lower house, which is known as Lok Sabha, and the upper house, which is known as Rajya Sabha. The next salient feature is the party system. Political parties are the pillars of our democracy. There is a multi-party system in India. The party which wins the majority of votes in the general election becomes the ruling party, whereas the rest will be the opposition party. So students, today we learned the Constituent Assembly of Constitution, the Constitutional Drafting Committee and the framing of Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, the salient features of the Constitution. Thank you students. See you all in the next class.